That was ugly. It was a pretty boring type of game, pretty ugly game overall. Phillies offense just didn't show up at all. They get shut out again on this road trip, and they don't sweep the series against the Reds, which I know still at the end of the day you win the series, and winning the series is the most important thing. But that's the type of game you gotta win. Your Ranger Suarez dominated the entire day. He was doing his thing. David Robertson came out in the eighth and he did his thing. Sir Anthony struggled though. He was struggling with his command. His slider was off. He was missing the strike zone a bunch. Four-pitch walk, which killed him in that inning. If he didn't allow that four-pitch walk, he probably would have been in extra innings at this point. But overall, the bats weren't there. This game kind of looked like the Sunday game against Chris Bassett in New York. Well, I know that they got the Jacob deGrom game where he got shut out, but I'll throw that one in the trash because it's Jacob deGrom. But the offense now shut out 3 times during this road trip. That is 4 times in the last 7 games. This is an offense that is showing signs that they're missing key pieces now. They're missing Kyle Schwarber, which Rob Thompson said in his post game. He is confident that he's going to be back in the lineup on Friday against the Mets. So that's going to be a good thing for this lineup. And just overall, it just wasn't a good, besides basically yesterday, overall, it was not a good offensive series, road trip at all. You got the win on Friday against New York. That game was a coin flip. You got shut out against deGrom. You got shut out against Bassett. You scored 4 runs on Monday to win that game, and Noah Syndergaard pitched good in the bullpen as well. Yesterday, basically the outlier. You blew them out yesterday. And today was a day where you just couldn't get hits at all. Your only extra base hit was a double by Alec Bohm in the top of the first inning, which almost went out of the ballpark. I'm surprised it didn't, but it didn't. So your offense was bad today. Offense was very bad. You did win the series. You did. But this was a game you got to win. I mean, you got to win this game. This was an easily winnable game because you saw the Reds the entire day. Yeah, they looked bad. Sir Anthony struggled, though, in the ninth. Even though I'm not worried overall about Sir Anthony. Every pitcher, he's been so dominant for so long that every pitcher that's dominant for so long, they eventually have a little bit of a blip. You kind of hate that you see that blip come against the Reds, like this team, the team he struggles against. But I'm not worried about Sir Anthony at all. But yeah, this is not a pretty game. Not a pretty game at all. Just really, you really struggled against Nick Lodolo. And yeah, Nick Lodolo, give him credit. He did pitch really good. I know his numbers coming into this with runners in scoring position. He's actually, his opponent's batting average against, I believe they said with runners in scoring position is below 200, like in the 160s or something like that. So Phillies really struggled once again. They went 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position in this ball game, and they left 6 runners on base. They wasted a really good performance by Ranger Suarez in this game. He goes 7 innings, 3 hits allowed, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts on 95 pitches. Offense just went dead quiet. Gene Segura was in the leadoff spot today. Bryson Stott got a day off, which I was expecting after the 0 for 6 yesterday. Gene Segura didn't have a good day in the leadoff spot. Basically, your only hits came from Hoskins, Bohm, Nick Castellanos, and then 1 hit by Derek Hall and also a Matt Vierling infield single. Really, like I said, your only extra base hit in this game was Alec Bohm's double in the top of the first inning. That was basically it. Really couldn't get any runners in scoring position. Then when you eventually did, your guys, you had 2 guys in the bottom of the lineup. Matt Vierling and Nick Maton had chances, and then Nick Castellanos and Gene Segura had a chance with runners in scoring position, and those guys couldn't come up there. So I know a lot of people keep saying they want to see Gene Segura in the top of the lineup. His numbers in the leadoff spot aren't that good. And I think this type of game shows that Segura isn't a leadoff hitter. And I know they're most likely when Schwarber comes back, he's going to be put in the leadoff spot, and then Gene Segura is going to get moved down. Same thing with Bryson Stott to basically where the lineup was before Schwarber's injury. So just, it's a game you got to win. It's a game you got to win. I'm not going to overreact to the loss. I know a lot of people are going to be, but yes, this is a game you got to win. You do. I know the most important thing is you won the series, and that is the most important thing. You got to get this win. That's basically the bottom line of this game. You just didn't show up at all. I don't know if it was the quick turnaround to a 12:30 start. You just didn't look good. Offensively, just didn't look good at all. Got a day off tomorrow. And now you got to prepare for this huge series against the Mets this weekend, where two of the starters that were most likely going to pitch during this series, and I believe Taijuan Walker and Carlos Carrasco, are not going to pitch. You're going to get Bassett on Friday. You got shut out by him on Sunday, so hopefully you come to the ballpark this weekend with a lot of, pissed off attitudes and wanting to really show it to the Mets. Hopefully getting Kyle Schwarber back in the lineup really helps. And does this, offensive spurt that they've been going on, well, lack of offensive spurt, actually, slump probably is the right word, is this just now starting to be affected by, missing key guys in the lineup? You're missing Kyle Schwarber in that top spot, and you're missing Bryce Harper. Is that starting to affect them? Probably. Yeah, missing Kyle Schwarber is definitely a huge loss for the lineup. But you would like to see, guys like Rhys, even though he went off yesterday, but Rhys do more, JT do more, Nick Castellanos do way more. Sosa in the lineup probably wasn't the best option. Probably should have kept Stott in there because Sosa's career numbers against lefties just aren't good in overall. Even though he got the 2 RBIs on Monday, 3 RBIs actually on Monday, he's not going to do that every single day. Career numbers show that he's not a good hitter overall. He was brought in here for his glove. Basically it. It's just a bad loss. This is a bad loss, but I'm going to look at the bigger picture here. I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear it. You got the series win. That's basically it. I'm still frustrated that you didn't get the sweep, but I'm going to look at, look ahead. You got the series win, and that's basically all you got to do from here on out is win series. That's all you got to do. And they did win a series, so you got to give them credit for that. But the offensive spurt that they're in, they got to find a way to get out of it. They really got to find a way. Hopefully adding Kyle Schwarber back to the lineup finds a way to spark these guys again. They went on that offensive outburst yesterday, hitting all those home runs. I really do think the lack of the long ball, even though they hit 5 yesterday, over the course of this stretch, they really haven't gone deep. They've been struggling to hit the home run ball. I feel like hitting the home run, the lack of hitting the home run ball is what's causing this issue with runners in scoring position. I kind of think that's one of the issues. Adding Kyle Schwarber back, adding a big power back to your lineup, definitely does help your lineup there. Same thing, adding Bryce Harper most likely in the next couple of weeks. That'll definitely help your lineup. But if you're looking at the upcoming schedule overall, Mets are once again the only team above 500 that you're going to be playing for the next 2-3 weeks at this point, 2.5 weeks, I would say. You got a 4-game series, like we said, against the Mets upcoming. A 4-game series against the Reds again, so you're going to be seeing them back in Philadelphia. 3-game series at home against the Pirates. Then you go on the West Coast road trip, which most likely during that road trip, you'll get Bryce Harper back when you go to San Francisco. You play Arizona first for a 3-game set, then you go to San Francisco. Hopefully that is the series Bryce does come back. Then you come back home, series against the Marlins, a series against the Nationals. Then you go on the road, series against the Marlins, and then you finally play teams that are above 500 for 3 straight series. A 3-game series against the Braves, a 2-game series against Toronto, and a 4-game series against the Braves. So you got to get these series wins when you need them. Basically. At this point, like I said, I'm not going to, overreact at all. Not going to whatsoever. Sucks that, okay. Also, there's some news here about Brandon Marsh possibly. Okay, here we go. This is from Todd Zalecki on Twitter. No structural damage to Brandon Marsh's left knee, bone bruise, but he also has a sprained ankle, so a very possible IL stint is coming. So, okay, so that basically makes sense right there. So we're most likely getting an IL stint for Brandon Marsh, even though he did say in his interview he felt fine yesterday, but they're still going to do some MRIs when they go back to Philadelphia, so we'll get the full extent of what the injury is when he gets back to Philadelphia, most likely. Well, they're going to be back in Philadelphia tonight. Most likely you won't find out anything until tomorrow with Brandon Marsh before tomorrow's game. So, yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah, overall, it's just really not much to talk about with this game. Offense, which is dead. Basically summarizes that. First inning, you got a double by Bohm, then JT gets hit by a pitch. Castellanos strikes out with 2 runners on in that situation. Then you get in the top of the second inning, once again, 2 outs and 2 runners on. Vierling gets on an infield single. Maton walks, then Gene Segura pops up. And then really the rest of the way, Hoskins led off with a walk in the third. Bohm grounds into a double play. Top of the 4th inning, Derek Hall gets on with a 2-out single. Also, Nick Castellanos got a single as well, so you got 2 runners on there with 1 out for Vierling and Maton, and both of those guys get out. And that's basically the rest of your chances there, the rest of the ball game, because top of the 5th inning, basically 1, 2, 3. Hoskins did get a single, but Alec Bohm grabbed it into a double play. Top of the 6th inning, 1, 2, 3. Top of the 7th inning, 1, 2, 3. Top of the 8th inning, 1, 2, 3. Top of the 9th inning, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, overall, not good at all. Not good at all by this lineup, especially in the second half of the ball game. You just, for some reason, could not figure out Lodolo, even though, give him credit, he did pitch good. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 98 pitches there. Even though this is the best start of his career, so take that for what it's worth. But in that 9th inning, Seranthony Dominguez struggled. He got the first out on the strikeout, but then he walks out Morrow Jr. on 4 pitches. Gets Aquino to strike out, and that's probably an easy out there because Aquino swings at everything. And then Lopez, okay, Seranthony threw a good pitch there, and Lopez just made a better hit, so 2 out single there. And then 1-1 count to Barrero, a guy who has not had a hit the entire series. He chops one up the middle, and that wins the ball game for the Reds. Matt Vierling couldn't do anything with that stuff, but it's kind of a punch in the mouth type of loss. But still, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna. Oh, that maybe explains why Votto wasn't in the lineup today. We just broke that on Twitter right here. Okay, Fox Sports. So Joey Votto has announced he will undergo season-ending surgery to repair a tear in his rotator cuff. Probably explains why Votto wasn't in the lineup. So that's surprising. Well, that's weird. Did not expect that to pop up on my Twitter account. So there you go there. But yeah, basically looking at the lineup today, Gene Segura in the leadoff spot, not good, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Rhys Hoskins 1 for 3 with a walk. Alec Bohm 1 for 4. JT over 3 with 3 strikeouts, so he didn't have a good day at the plate. He'd also did get hit by a pitch, but still. Nick Castellanos 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Sosa, not a good day at the plate, as expected, 2 strikeouts. Kyle Schwarber did get a pinch hit opportunity. He popped up, but most likely I'm expecting Schwarber to be back. Derek Hall goes 1 for 3, which was a bloop single. Matt Vierling goes 1 for 3, and Nick Maton goes 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Looking at the rest of the bullpen, David Robertson did a good job in the 8th. 22 pitches, got a strikeout. He did allow a hit, but he didn't get out of that inning. Seranthony Dominguez, though, like I said, it's a blip in how amazing he has been this year. Every guy has that blip. He had one against the Marlins like so many months ago where he allowed that, game time or go-ahead home run the Jazz Chisholm. He's basically been really good since then, so I expect Seranthony to bounce back because he's just been fantastic this year. But yeah, overall, it's just kind of don't want to see the bottom of their lineup, especially walk off the game because Barrero is batting 188 on the year. And he had a hit the entire series. So yeah, basically it. Not much to talk about with this game because it was basically nothing from both teams until that 9th inning, really. So the Phillies, they are 65 and 52 on the year. Looking at the rest of baseball right now, you still have that so you were a game and a half above the Padres coming into this game. Now you lose this game, so that turns into a game above them. And then the Padres, they're looking to not get swept by the Marlins tonight. They play 4 o'clock. Who is pitching on the mound for both teams in that game? Pablo Lopez and Mike Clevenger. So we'll see what happens in that instance. So if the Padres lose, Phillies lead goes back up to a game and a half. And then if they win, it goes to a half game lead. I just blanked out there for a couple of seconds. And then what else? The Brewers, they play the Dodgers once again at 8 o'clock. Craig Kimbrell sucks. He blew the game yesterday for the Dodgers, so their Dodgers hopefully win that series against the Brewers. Because I watched the end of that game yesterday, and I saw Craig Kimbrell come out there in the extra innings. I was like, instant loss right there because Craig Kimbrell sucks. So yeah, basically. Got to find a way to get the offense going. Hopefully, adding Kyle Schwarber back to the lineup is something that wakes the offense up. So if you look at this Mets series upcoming, a little bit of pitcher changes here. So they moved up Kyle Gibson to pitch Sunday, and they moved Noah Syndergaard back to pitch the Monday game against Cincinnati at home. So Noah Syndergaard, he's not going to verse the Mets at all. So your pitching matchups for this weekend are going to be Nola against Chris Bassett on Friday. And we all know Chris Bassett. He shut us out on Sunday. Hopefully looking for revenge there. Zack Wheeler during the doubleheader, he's going to pitch the first game of the doubleheader. And then the second game of the doubleheader is going to be a Bailey Falter bullpen game, most likely. So I have no idea what the Mets are going to do in that situation. They don't have Scherzer in the ground because they're pitching tonight and tomorrow against the Braves. And then for Sunday's matchup, it's going to be Kyle Gibson going up against Taijuan Walker. He left the game early yesterday against the Braves, so I'm not sure what the issue is. Okay, this is what ESPN says. He was removed from Tuesday's start because of back spasms. So I'm not sure if that's going to keep him out from Sunday's game. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. Not sure what the Mets are going to be doing for the doubleheader with their pitching because Carlos Carrasco, I'm assuming he was supposed to pitch the doubleheader, one of those games at least, but now he's out 3 to 4 weeks. So the Mets, they're most likely going to have to bring in someone from the bullpen to start one of those games and then most likely go with a bullpen game. I don't know what the Mets are going to do in that situation. For the Phillies this weekend, got to find a way to win 2 games. Got to find a way to win 2 games in this series. Nola, I know Wheeler didn't pitch good on Sunday, but I'm sure Wheeler's going to want to have a fuck you attitude, and he is a better pitcher in Philadelphia. So Aaron Nola, Zack Wheeler, Friday, Saturday might be your best chances to win 2 games in this series. Not guaranteeing it, though, with the way the offense has been, but maybe getting away from this road trip, adding Kyle Schwarber back to the lineup, going back home. Maybe that's something that sparks the offense up. Maybe they want to provide a good, showing against the Mets this weekend. The offense just needs to wake up. That's the bottom line. And they're going through a rut right now. They've been through a couple of ruts this year. They found a way to get out of it. They'll find a way to get out of this rut. I firmly believe that. Is it going to be against the Mets? I have no idea. We'll just have to wait and see at that point. Because after the Mets series, like I said, 4-game series against the Reds, Syndergaard, Suarez, Nola, Wheeler in that series. So that is a series you got to win 3 out of 4 in that situation. Then the Pittsburgh Pirates at home, Diamondbacks, like I said, the rest of that schedule. So, yeah, that's basically it from that situation. So if I want to look at the standings right here, like I said, Phillies were a game and a half above the Padres in this game. Now the lead is back to a game, even though they still hold the tiebreaker technically. Padres lose tonight against the Marlins. Lead goes back to a game and a half. But if the Padres win, lead goes to a half a game. And then whatever the Brewers do with the Dodgers tonight. And we'll just have to wait and see for that situation. Who's pitching for the Brewers tonight? And the Dodgers. So I can just see what happens in that situation. So Tony Gonsolin going up against Eric Lauer. Tony Gonsolin has been fantastic this year. So maybe that is booking for a Dodgers win. I'm not going to guarantee anything. Just not going to guarantee anything at all. But still, offense didn't show up today. Don't like that. But I'm going to look at the bigger picture here. Won the series, even though I wanted you to sweep this coming into today. You should have won. You should have won this game with the way everything was going throughout. Like seriously, this Reds team, you should have swept them. But still, looking at the bigger picture overall, won the series. You just got to find a way to wake the offense up. That's basically it. Offense needs to wake up big time. Does it start against the Mets? I don't know. The Mets this week against the Braves, they've been roughed around. Granted, the Braves are a way better team than the Phillies, but maybe it showcases something that the Mets are on a little bit of a slump, but they do have Scherzer and DeGrom these next 2 days, so we'll see what happens in that situation. But overall, you got to find a way, wake this offense up, and you got to find a way to win 2 out of 4 at most, I would say, against the Mets. If you can win 2 out of 4, I'll take that any day of the week against the Mets because overall they're a better team than you. If you can find a way to split that series, I'll take that any day of the week. First 2 games with Nola and Wheeler, maybe be your best chance, but your offense, once again, needs to find a way to wake up. Maybe hopefully adding Kyle Schwarber back will boost the offense. And then, like I said, they've been through ruts a lot this year. Stretches where they struggled to hit with runners in scoring position, they eventually find themselves out of it. So overall, I'm not overly worried about the offense. It's been a bad stretch for them, but I do believe they're going to find their way out of it. They have been doing it all year, and I believe they'll find their way out of this one. It sucks. It's frustrating to see with the way the offense has been batting, but maybe is it just showcasing that they're missing 2 of their top guys in the lineup now? They're missing Schwarber for basically this entire road trip, and Bryce Harper, when he comes back into the lineup, DHing, that's definitely a huge addition for them. Yeah, that's basically it there. But if you want to talk about some more positive things, baseball updated their top 100 prospects list. So if I look at MLB top 100 prospects, there's some good news there for the Phillies in terms of, players that we're looking forward to. So previous to this list update, I believe Andrew Painter was ranked 51st, 52nd or something like that, top 100 prospects. Andrew Painter moved all the way up to 25. So he's rising up the ranks. It's really good to see. I think Mick Abel, he moved down a couple of spots. He was originally at 53, I believe, and then he moved up. He moved down to 57, so he moved down a couple of spots. I know MLB updated this list with a lot of the draft picks from this year's MLB player draft. So, but still, seeing Andrew Painter jump up that many spots, it's a good sign. It's a very good sign. And if he continues to do what he is doing, he's going to continue to run up those ranks. If he dominates in Double A like he did it in Clearwater, in Jersey Shore, and everything like that, he's going to continue to move up those ranks. And most likely, if he continues to dominate, we're going to see him in a Phillies uniform a lot sooner rather than later. Maybe with the way things are going. Maybe is he a September call-up next season? Because I would expect with the way things are going, I think Griff McGarry can maybe fight for a rotation spot next year. And then Painter, Abel, they go through Double A the rest of the year. They start there next year, maybe get called up to Triple A a quarter, halfway through, and then they get called up for September, possibly. But who knows what the way everything's. If Painter dominates here and they invite him to spring training and he dominates in spring training, well, we'll see what happens in that situation. But hey, it's nice seeing a Phillies prospect running up the rankings like Andrew Painter is doing. So that's very nice to see overall. But still, yeah. Just wasn't the biggest fan of this loss. Just not. The offense, I don't think anyone was. But still, I'm going to look at the bigger picture overall. You won the series, and that's basically what you got to do down the stretch. Just win series. I'm not demanding sweeps or anything like that. You just got to win series. All you got to do. So, and basically, when you go to that stretch at home, you're going to be playing Pittsburgh, Cincinnati again after the Mets. So that's a series where you can get some runs back or get some wins there as well. So you got to find a way to win those. Mets, like I said this weekend, I'm only asking for a split. I'm only asking to win 2 games in this series. That's basically all I'm asking for. You'd win 2 games in this series. I'm good. Because we really struggled to play the Mets. We'll struggle to beat the Mets this year. And if we find a way to win 2 in this 4-game set, I'll take it any day of the week. And then you move on back to the teams that are below 500. Hopefully Kyle Schwarber in the lineup Friday, most likely he will be. Rob Thompson said he's very confident about that. But yeah, adding Kyle Schwarber back definitely will be a major boost to this offense. It definitely shapes up the lineup a little bit more. Schwarber goes back to that leadoff spot. Hoskins 2. Bo most likely 3. JT 4. Castellanos 5. Derek Hall against the righty, most likely batting 6. Then you put Stott. Then you're definitely going to figure out Segura 7th, Stott 8th, Vierling 9th. So maybe that's the way it goes back to the original way it was when Schwarber comes back. We'll just have to wait and find out and see what happens there. Still, like I said, not the biggest fan of this loss. You should have won this ball game, but I'll look at the bigger picture. Win series, and that is the most important thing you can do at this point. And you did win the series, so I guess I'll take it. But should have won this ball game at the end of the day. You should have. Looking at some comments here. Julian, fourth time in the last 7 games they've been shut out. Please, I don't want to hear this fan say, oh, well, they won the series. Reds are a horror show. JT and Bohm can't hit a beach ball again. I wouldn't say Bohm can't hit a beach ball. Bohm's still been getting on base. So JT, yeah, he had a bad series, but I wouldn't say that. Time to bring up Camargo. Bohm needs a day off. He's like 9 for 50. JT is 1 for his last 22. They don't let unless they hit home runs. That game was a turd in the punch bowl, but hey, enjoy the day off tomorrow and bring it this weekend. Lodolo might have a high ERA, but that kid has a lot of potential. What else? I don't get how anyone can feel comfortable about the Mets this series with how bad the offense has been. Well, you never know. Maybe getting away from this road trip, going back home, maybe that getting Schwarber back in the lineup, maybe that would just wakes up the entire offense. 15 games this month, 7 they have scored 3 or less. Like I said, you go on offensive. Every team goes on an offensive drought. They're going for one right now. It's also obvious that they're missing key players in their lineup. It's going to affect things. So, things happen. They found their way to get out of these spurts. I feel like they'll get out of it. 7 games at home against the Pirates and Reds. Home, they better win 6 out of 7 minimum. That's a little harsh to demand. Just win the series. It's a 4-game series against the Reds. Win that series. 3 games set against the Pirates. Win that series. That's all you got to do at this point. You can't demand. I never demand sweep. Demand sweeps are way too harsh. Like, you can't demand sweep against any team. You can't go that into any series. Because the Reds, even though they're a bad team, they still win games. They still win games. They find themselves getting a win every now and then. So, all you ask for at this point, win series. Win series. And that is the most important thing you do. And if you continue to win series, you'll find yourself in October. That's basically all you got to do. Continue to win those series. Get Schwarber back this weekend. Get Harper back in September. And you might be golden. With the way the pitching has been lately, Ranger Suarez has been really good as of late. Really good ever since like that one game before the All-Star break. He's only allowed 4 runs since then. So he's been really good and looking like the Ranger of last year, which is really good. Kyle Gibson, savvy vet basically. Noah Syndergaard, if he can find a way to just remain consistent in that 5th spot of the rotation. Then you got Aaron Nola and Zack Wheeler. I know Zack Wheeler had the bad game on Sunday, but Zack Wheeler, I expect to bounce back. Aaron Nola, that game against the Mets, he pitched really good there. So I'm very confident in Aaron Nola going down the stretch with the way he pitched. Like I said, they're in a rut. Maybe it's showcasing that they're missing guys in the lineup, but they're getting Schwarber back this weekend. And let's just see how the offense goes. Like I said, I'm asking just for a split, not demanding win the series or anything. You could find a way to win 2 out of these 4 games against New York. I'm fine with that. I am fine with that. So, thank you, everyone, for joining the stream. As always, do not forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Do not forget to leave a like on the video. Do not forget to check out everything in the description down below. Painted Lines BrodesMedia. I recommend it. I also recommend hitting the subscribe button and also using the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Use it for anything you can think of. Phillies games, any concert events, anything you can think of. It's a great deal. Don't pass it up. Thank you, everyone, for joining once again, and I will see you next time.